With the release of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 behind us, the integration towards Black Ops 6 Warzone is finally here. And while this isn't a video where I go over all the changes for Black Ops 6 Warzone, I think it's pretty safe to say that this has been the best integration that we've ever seen in the history of Warzone. It seems like for the first time, everything got better. And with that was the implementation of the new Omni movement from Black Ops 6, meaning that everybody in the lobby has insanely ridiculous movement, and even if they don't know how to use it, it's a lot faster than what we've seen in years past. With that being the case, it's going to be more important than ever to have great aim. If you want to keep up this year, you're going to have to be able to track your moving targets, you're going to have to be able to have recoil control, good aim up close and from a distance. And in today's video, I'm going to make it as easy as possible to help you improve to get the type of aim that you see streamers and pro players have. While I can't go fully in depth with all the different techniques and tricks, these are the easiest ones that anybody can implement into their game right now. My name is Redix, welcome to the channel, and let's dive in. Now, in order for us to be able to get the best aim possible, we have to have the correct settings to do so. If you have the wrong settings, you're essentially going to have the wrong aim. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but you get the point. Now, I'm not going to sit here and go through every single setting that I use. I already have a dedicated settings video for that, but there are a few that I'm going to show you in this video that you need to make sure that you adjust or at least have them on the right setting. If not, it's going to completely throw off your game, and it's honestly going to make the game less fun. Now, for starters, while I feel like this should be obvious, a lot of people don't do it. Your stick sensitivity should be being changed if your aim isn't very good. Yes, you have to stick to a certain sensitivity usually to get used to it, but it's important that if you're over aiming, you should lower your sensitivity, or if you're missing your targets because you're not snapping on them quick enough, you might need to raise your sensitivity. Just make sure you're changing your sensitivity as much as you need to. Don't think that you have to set it to 10 or 20 and then get used to it. Most good players honestly play between 5 and 10 sensitivity. If you have controller vibration turned on, then you're probably not that serious about having good aim, because if you want to have good aim, you need to remove all the other variables and factors that can affect your aim, like a vibrating controller every single time you shoot. And same thing with trigger effects, make sure those are turned off. Those will not assist you, those will only hinder your aim at times. Now let's talk dead zones. You want to make your left stick dead zones copy mine, but the right stick are going to be a little bit different. Now the right stick max should be at 99, however the right stick minimum is going to depend on your controller. I have a newer controller, so I have it down to 3, because if I have it any higher than that, it takes a little bit longer for the input to register when I'm trying to aim. If I have it lower than that, I get stick drift. You want to have your right stick dead zone minimum set to the lowest number possible without still having stick drift on your controller. And I know there's a rumor that stick drift is a good thing because it helps with aim assist. Why would you ever add a sense of randomness to your aim? So for that reason, I like to make sure I don't have any stick drift at all. In the aiming advanced settings menu, you're going to want to make sure that you have ADS sensitivity transition timing on instant, and your aim response curve type should be on dynamic. The curve slope scale of it doesn't matter much. I have it on 0.9 right now and it feels pretty good, but there's not a big difference, so don't worry about all the different tweets and TikToks that say you need to have linear curve type on with this slope scale. It does not make a difference. Well, it does, but if you turn it all the way down to like 0.2 or 0.3, all you're doing is pretty much removing the linear or dynamic and going to default. And hard to explain, so just take my word for it when I say dynamic is the way to go. It's been the way to go for a long time. This is personal preference, but I use custom sensitivity per zoom, and I put everything that's kind of a lower zoom than a sniper on 0.9. Sometimes I move it down to 0.85 if my aim is really kind of jittery, and then I like to have really twitchy aim with my snipers, so I keep those on 1.0. Now these following settings are crucial. You're going to want to make sure your field of view is at least above 105. Anywhere between 105 and 120 works for FOV. Your ADS field of view should be on affected as well. If you don't have that on, then it's going to be all over the place when you're trying to shoot targets. Your weapon field of view should be on wide as well, so that your weapon looks a lot smaller and doesn't take up as much space on the screen. And then your motion blurs both should be off, with your camera movements turned to least. This just gets rid of that visual clutter and it makes it easier for you to just focus on aiming at a target and not have to deal with everything else around you. Now, to explain the FOV thing to some people who don't understand it, this is what it looks like on my FOV of 115 when I'm shooting at just the target range. Now watch as I turn my FOV down to what people used to play on console, I think was on 60. Take a look at how zoomed in it is. I'm in the same exact spot that I was, but you can, I mean, everything is just gigantic on my screen, including my weapon's iron sights, including the muzzle flash, including the recoil while the gun jumps. You quite literally have less recoil with a higher FOV. Now, once you get between 115 and 120 FOV, it kind of affects your aim assist, so that's why I stick between 110 and 115 personally. That'll do it for the settings portion of the video, but you can comment down below if you have any questions about other settings that I didn't go over. This next tip that we're going to discuss may be the most important tip of all when it comes to aiming. Especially close range aiming and close range fights, you're going to want to make sure you're utilizing this one simple tactic that every good player uses. The best part is it becomes second nature and you don't actually have to think about it. You don't think about doing it in game. You just do it and it helps. But to start, I'm going to show you guys a clip from Modern Warfare 3 ranked play, and then I'll show you guys a clip from Black Ops 6 and from Rebirth Island. In each one of these clips, I'm doing what we're about to talk about, so I want to know if you guys can figure it out before I tell you what it is. So let's let those clips roll. Oh, last one. Go get the scraps, baby. We're back in business. Why are you running up there with your gun up, bro? He panicked. Alright class, do we have any guesses for what it was? Comment down below right now before I tell you what the answer is. 3, 2, 1. It's centering. You've probably heard the term centering before, especially if you've watched my tips videos, but I'm going to show you guys in these examples why it's so important. Centering is the art of keeping your crosshairs centered onto a spot where an enemy likely will be. This is why a lot of people think streamers are hacking, because their centering is so good it looks like you're aiming at people through walls. In reality, you're just keeping yourself prepared for any potential threats that you're going to run into. Now notice how my crosshairs are always centered onto a hot spot. Here's the vending machine head glitch. I was already centered there before I got there. Here's the escalator staircase. And again, it's the hop up into the window here. And then it's the Jeep. What this is doing is it's eliminating any potential error that you're going to have when it comes to adjusting your aim. If an enemy happens to go to one of these hot spots that I'm already centered on, all I have to do is aim and shoot. Whereas if my crosshairs are towards the floor, I'm going to have to pull them all the way up towards the enemy. In these clips from the new Black Ops 6 Warzone map, it looks like I have wall hacks. It literally looks like I'm aiming at these players through the wall. In reality, I just hopped up from where they are, and I know that's where they're likely going to have to come at me from. So I just wait, take my time, and peek out, and as soon as I see them, all I have to do is aim and shoot. Now, tracking is a different story, but centering is its own important property in the entire equation of good aim. Now let's discuss what I just mentioned, and that's tracking. Now again, these are easy tips to instantly improve your aim, so I can go in depth in things like aim assist and how to track better, but what I'm going to do is give you guys the easiest rundown on what you could do to instantly get better the very next time you pick up your controller. And this is another thing that if you pay attention to the clips in the videos, you'll notice that I literally do this on every single gunfight. This isn't just a random tip that I'm throwing in the video. They say practice what you preach, right? That's exactly what you can see in my clips. So the best way to improve your tracking is to strafe with your enemy. Now it sounds simple. Strafing is just moving left or right, but it's a little bit more detailed than that, because if you strafe with your enemy, not only does it mitigate the need for you to actually aim with your right stick and do all the tracking that way, you can actually move with your opponent. So if they're running to your left, just strafe to your left. Again, not only will this mitigate the need for right stick aim, but what it will also do is kick in double aim assist. Rotational aim assist is what it's known as, and if you're moving while you're shooting an enemy, you're going to get even more aim assist than if you're just aiming with your right stick. So think of it like this: both of your analog sticks on your controller have different aim assist properties, but they're not exclusive. You are able to use both of them at the same time, and that's why if you strafe, you're going to be able to get a lot more kills and you're going to miss a lot less shots. On top of that, you become a much harder target to hit. So since I over-explained centering and my settings, I'm not going to over-explain this one. Just try and practice moving left or right while you shoot your enemies and adjusting your aim from there. And now for the final tip, I promise this is the best one, but you have to commit to it. If you're just looking to casually get better at the game, then these first couple of tips were great for you, but for the people who are actually trying to get great aim, this last tip is going to be the most important. Remember how I said you need to practice strafing while you shoot? The easiest way to do that is by doing it in a private match. So I want you guys to follow my lead. If you have Black Ops 6, load up the multiplayer and go to private match, create your own private match, and then in the settings, you're going to want to select free for all, pick whatever map you like, Nuketown works well. You want a smaller map usually. I went with a new map Hideout because I wanted to try it out. From there, put the time limit and the score limit up as high as you'd like. The higher the better, obviously the more practice you'll get, and then put a bunch of bots on the other team. Now you're going to want to make sure you use a class in this private match that you would use in multiplayer or in Warzone so that you're actually getting good reps in with something that you'd actually use. And from there, load it up. And this does multiple things. One, it warms you up. If your shot doesn't feel very good, just load up one of these private matches, shoot a bunch of bots, listen to some music, and then hop into the game. This is a great warm-up that most Call of Duty League pros use, and that's how people mostly got hip to this idea. But if you're someone like me, you want to take it a step further. You want to not only use this to warm up, but you want to use it to improve, to actually get better. And when I say this does multiple things, it warms you up, it helps you build good habits by, as you can see what I'm doing, I'm strafing consistently. I strafe even more when I'm shooting these bots than I do in an actual multiplayer game. And again, that's just building that great habit of strafing in gunfights and utilizing that double aim assist. But on top of that, after you've either killed as many bots as you would like to, or started a new game after already killing them all, it's time for us to go into our settings and turn off our target aim assist. And now shoot as many bots as you can stomach without aim assist. And in this game in particular, it's even harder. But what it's going to do is it's going to make you rely on aim assist less. And we know how strong aim assist is in these games, so when you're not relying on it, it all of a sudden becomes like a superpower. Because you could potentially get perfect aim without it, so when you factor aim assist in on top of you already having really good aim, it becomes kind of ridiculous, which is my word of the day. So if you made it this far in the video, comment the word ridiculous down low for a shout out in the next video. Just say something like aim assist is ridiculous, something like that, and I'll know exactly what you're talking about. But also without aim assist when you're shooting these bots, it's going to make you have to rely on strafing into your enemy more. You'll see the way I fix my aim when I don't have aim assist usually isn't with my right stick, but rather with my left stick or my movement stick. And it sounds kind of silly, I guess, when you're saying it out loud or when you're watching it on a YouTube video, but once you go try it yourself in a private match and you try to implement it into your own game, it's going to make much more sense. Now, after you killed as many bots as you would like to, I used to play a full game with aim assist, a full game without aim assist, and then another game against bots with the aim assist back on. Just make sure before you finish this exercise, you turn your aim assist back on so that it's not off when you go play Warzone or multiplayer. And also kill a couple more bots with aim assist back on now. That way you can kind of get that muscle memory back. When I would do this drill every day, my flow was kind of 200 bots with aim assist, 200 bots without aim assist, and then another 100 bots with aim assist back on. And that helped me get my aim to a really good spot. And if you guys do this method, I promise you guys will have the best aim out of all the friends that you play with. Yep, I see you clicking off the video. Please don't. Please don't. Now go ahead, but before you do, if you did like the video, dropping a like would be huge, and dropping a comment would be even better. We're trying to hit 100k subs by the end of the year. I know we're kind of in a time crunch here, a month and a half. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button for me. I don't usually do stuff like this at the end of the video, but I do have something I want to talk about. I am a partner with Hyper Controllers, and I did a whole video about that, but if you guys want to win this controller for absolutely free, I pay shipping and everything when I send it to you. Head to the link in the description to watch the video, or just go to my channel. This controller right here has the 4 back buttons, it's got the pro grip on it, it's got the instant triggers, you can hear them. Probably, I don't know, I hope you can hear them. Giving this away, free 99. And if anybody reaches out to you and it says their name is Redix and they're asking for money or shipping or anything, it's not me. I'm not going to reach out to you. I'm going to put it in a video. Winner will be announced in a video. I don't know why scamming is like such a, it's just normal. People just scam nowadays. Like, it's just a thing people... That being said, thank you guys for watching. I have to go watch the Eagles and Commanders fight for the NFC East crown, and, well, you guys will know who won by the time this video's out. Just know if the Eagles lose tonight, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry myself to sleep.